Good evening. Welcome to the laboratory of Jean-Paul Gasset. Greetings and welcome back. You're doing a good job. Let's see. Last time, the podfish emerged onto dry land to lay eggs. However, it expired. Take good care of the hatchlings, as an important life was sacrificed to create them. Let me divulge the highlights for today. It is about time for the eggs to hatch. Pay close attention to what emerges. So let us head over to the tank.
Hey, you. I'm glad you're here. I do so love our evenings together. No, leave me alone. I was wondering, how is your health these days? You feel all right, do you? Well, I'm glad to hear it. You know how I worry. So, you feel pretty good, huh? Well, that's great, but being the Scorpio that you are, I'll bet you probably take your health for granted sometimes. Is that true? Uh-huh, I thought so. As long as I've been around, you soft little creatures, you never seem to know how good you have it. Eh? So, as I was saying before, you humans haven't always had it so easy. Picture this. Ancient Egypt 5,000 years ago. There's no heat, no cold medicine, nothing. It's just you against the elements. Imagine if you had gotten sick then. Hey, are you listening to me? Oh, good. You might actually learn something then. Anyway, where was I? Oh yes, I was berating your species for taking your modern amenities for granted. For example, it's winter, so you're probably all nice and toasty with the heat on. Tell me something. Have you ever seen the Egyptian pyramids? And not just on PBS, I mean with your own eyes. Well, my. You are a well-traveled little youngster, aren't you? Your parents must either be ambassadors or international spies. Anyway, can you imagine how much time and work it must have taken to build those pyramids? I mean, there's no way that even a whole group of you little humans could have lifted one of those rocks with your bare hands. They had to invent levers and axles and who knows what else. Now that's evolution. Here's another question for you. Do you wear glasses? Well, actually it doesn't matter. My point is this. If you'd had bad eyes when you and your ancestors were still running around in the wild, you'd have become some lion's midnight snack pretty darn quick. And yet, right now, one of the most powerful people in the world is that four-eyed guy in Seattle. You know who I mean. How far do you think he would have gotten in a fight with a lion? See? You humans are totally helpless without your tools. Are you keeping up with me, Fuzzy? Can I go on? Okay, good. You might want to pull up a chair because this might take a while. What? It gets lonely in here. I have to talk to someone. Anyway, as I was saying, at some point, about 5,000 or 6,000 years ago, humans finally came up with the greatest tool of all. You know what that was? Oh, do you? Well, what was it then? Hey, I'm trying to be serious here. Anyway, the greatest tool of all is language. Without it, you wouldn't be talking to me right now. I'm not even going to ask if you're grateful. Anywho, sooner or later, this guy named Pythagoras came along. You know who he was, right? All right, you're either lying or you're some kind of evil toddler genius. Anyway, so this Pythagoras fellow came up with another important tool, and that's logic. So, after you have language and logic, you have mathematics and technology and industry and everything else, and that's how you've gotten to where you are today, with your glasses and your cold medicine and farming machinery and cars and TV sets and Dreamcasts and rock and roll music and... Okay, so it's a little more complicated than that. But the point is, humans started out pretty helpless and created all these things to make their lives easier. Just like Whirlpool. And that's great. Whoopee for you. Just be careful not to get too dependent on all your little crutches. Well, I hope I haven't bored you to death. If I have, go take a nap or something. Tomorrow. We'll talk again tomorrow. Nighty-night. Wow, now that's dark. Hey, turn on the light so I may see where I'm going.